to The Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler.
All right, it's 11:04. Welcome to The Lock Shop. Sorry, we're a couple minutes late getting rolling. Lots of conversation about the bird draft and some other things that we had to get to as well. But those are always fun. I mean, we need to stay on them more consistently, especially if we're going to do relegation. Then we should make sure we do one a month. And then, a guy or two gets relegated, pops back up and, gets another crack at it a little bit later on. But, slightly, we've had more controversial drafts, but the commish Quinn, she takes a hard line on stuff. And sometimes you love it, sometimes you don't. But it was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. Drafts are always a good time. And I still have so many on my list. We could have gone a few rounds further for sure, but it was a really good time. Maybe we get to a 5-person draft at some point, depending on the depth of the category or something like that. Anyway, we're off and running on Lock Shop. The Lock Shop and all of Edmonton Sports Talk is brought to you by our partners at Play Alberta. Download the Play Alberta app today. Use our August code if you haven't already. We will have an update on some codes in September. I think with NFL launching, they're probably going to put together some other specials and promos. So you can be watching. You can be watching for those. But use the code EST Sports. Deposit $20, get a $50 free bet. Use the code EST Casino. Deposit $20, get $50 to play with in the casino. Right now, we've got 2 plays up there. I love this one. This is Glue Guy's play of the day from yesterday. Edmonton Elks to win plus 160. When we were looking at it this morning, it was plus 111. It still sits at plus 111. The total is now at 2.5. But if you want to bet the Elks to pull off a mini upset against the Montreal Alouettes here, don't go and play it on the CFL page where it's plus 111. Hit the EST specials and hammer it at plus 160. And then our early bird bet of the day today, it sits at plus 376. BC Lions plus 9.5. Lions and Ticats over 49.5 points. Bo Levi with 2 passing touchdowns or more. And then Keon Hatcher with 5 receptions. That's been boosted to plus 376. The only one that I'm a little worried about there is the Keon Hatcher receptions. But if you were to look at his game log, let me bring up Keon Hatcher's game log because I know he's had some big games this season. Here we are. Keon Hatcher. Oh, yeah, he's a senior now. I don't know where I come out on people becoming a senior after they have their kid and then they decide to change. Anyway, here's his game log. So far this year, he has covered the 4.5 3 straight games and 4 times this year. But he's been targeted 5, 7, 9, 10 times, 7 times, 10 times, 11 times, 5 times. So he's going to get 5, 6, 7 targets. I like him for over 4.5 catches. So if you want to ride with us on that one, you can pop in at plus 376. The DGen Den will be working up a little grandest parlay today as well. James P says, hey, Dusty, has Play Alberta fixed last month's $50 bet? I still have mine from last month that I can't use. That's an interesting question on if they go back. I know when I was emailing with them, they said they'd flipped it. Also this month, some people are having some issues, and I exchanged emails with them yesterday, and they said a number of people have executed the bonus properly and got the free bet as opposed to a bonus. But I think for some people it hasn't worked, so we'll try to get that sorted out as well. Huss should be joining us from Winnipeg Sports Talk here shortly. We'll get into that game tonight. I want to take a look at the St. Jude leaderboard to see where our guys are at on the golf parlay. Who were we on? We were on Xander. Oh, I like this start, everybody. Well, maybe. Let's see where Xander is. But our parlay was plus 950. And we had Wyndham Clark. I put Wyndham Clark, Matty Fitz, and Xander Schauffele into the top 20 parlay. It's the first round, but through the first round, Wyndham Clark and Matt Fitzpatrick are T4. They're both -3, and Xander's T10, -2. Super, and he's only through 4. Super duper early. But to see the three guys we have in the top 20 parlay with Xander, Wyndham Clark, and Matty Fitz off to good starts, I mean, you can't really ask for much of a better start right now in this one. It could still go a bunch of different ways, but I really like the start for the parlay. So hopefully you hopped on that yesterday as well. Duck Dad telling James P, just call the service line and get it converted to a free bet. Okay, well, there you go. You can do that as well. I know Glue Guy has said that he and Reed have called, and Matt has called the service line, and they actually get things taken care of pretty quickly. So that's good news as well. All right, let's bring in Huss from Winnipeg Sports Talk. Huss, we just wrapped up another Edmonton Sports Talk draft. We did a draft of birds, a bit controversial at times. I think overall relatively smooth. And we'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out from here. I don't think it's posted just yet. What's that?
What was 1-1?
Big Bird.
Big Bird.
Yeah. Big Bird went first overall. The Bald Eagle went second overall. I took Larry Bird third overall, I think. Here's the categories that we had to have, Us. We had to have two real birds, one that can fly, one that's flightless. Two team names / logos that are bird related, fictional birds, a human with a bird name, the best bird to eat, a bird call, a bird saying. I got Early Bird Gets the Worm. I like that one. A bird movie or with a bird in the title, a song about a bird or with bird in the title. And then we had an open category with 5 different spots there. And then I thought about you on this one because the commissioner's pick was a sexy bird. And I clarified with her, I said, are we drafting only birds in this category or can it be anything bird related that you would deem sexy? And she said, okay, that'll fly. No pun intended. So then I took Hooters Restaurant in your honor, Huss.
Thank you, Dusty.
Yeah.
That should win you the draft.
Well, we'll see how it plays out. I don't know. We'll see. But it's also been noted now that if you finish with less than 18% of the vote, you get relegated. You're out of the next draft, and somebody else in the office gets to slide in. So, taking it to another level, buddy. Taking it to another level.
For being a little tardy, I was just finishing up with the one and only Sarah Orleski.
Oh, you should have texted me. You could have stayed with her the whole hour. She's the best.
I said to Sarah, because we were talking mainly Jet stuff, but then right at the end, I asked her, and you can check this out today on Winnipeg Sports Talk. It was a real fun interview. She, of course, hooked back up with the CFL on TSN crew for the game here a couple weeks ago against Calgary when Milt Stiegel came back to Winnipeg and back to the panel for the first time. And we were just talking about Milt's return and that moment, which was unlike almost anything I've ever been a part of. And it went from joking around about the Jets for, talking very light about the Jets in the upcoming season for 20 minutes to pretty emotional couple minutes, just talking about what Milt meant to the city of Winnipeg and that moment and all that. And I said, oh, geez, the lock shop is already underway. I have Dusty's probably doing some tap dancing right now, but in your business, he's good at that. He'll be fine, but she does send her best.
Yeah, Orleski was the best. I didn't get to work. Well, I worked with her quite a bit. I think I got along with Sarah extremely well. I think everybody probably does. Like, she's just such a nice person that you're like, oh, I want to work with Orleski more. Like, she's the best.
I would say that goes both ways.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's nice. Thanks, Huss. I appreciate that, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice of you to say that. We're going to get to, I'm going to throw the grandest parlay over to the crew here. And then we've put together a bird parlay as well, which is amazing. The bird draft day parlay is the Eagles plus 6.5. Which Eagles are we talking here, boys? And then the Memphis Redbirds, AAA baseball. And hey, the Adelaide Crows minus 51.5 on AFL Sunday action, buddy.
Well, that'll probably be the West Coast Eagles then, I believe. If you're going AFL, the Eagles, I'm pretty sure would be.
No, they might be. Are they going the Philadelphia Eagles? I think preseason.
Oh,
yeah. Do they play tonight? I mean, I don't really follow NFL preseason that closely outside of.
Actually, that's a great question. I think you might be right. There might be a full slate.
I think there's a game tonight.
Nothing more degen than betting the NFL preseason. Not that it doesn't happen sometimes. Oh, we got 3 games tonight.
3 games
Colts
tonight.
At Ravens, Bengals at Eagles. So yes, it will be Philly in that game. And then the Raiders and the Seahawks tomorrow, 3 games. Lions, Falcons, Browns, Panthers. I think Shadur Sanders is going to start the preseason game for the Browns, for those who care. Commanders, Patriots tomorrow. And then Saturday, Giants, Bills, Texans, Vikings, Cowboys, Rams, Steelers, Jags, Titans, Bucks, Jets, Packers, Chiefs, Cards, Broncos, Niners. 2 games on Sunday, Dolphins, Bears, and Saints, Chargers. So this is the full slate, folks. The full slate of preseason action, with the exception of the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Chargers, who played. Oh, no, the Steelers are right there. Who did the Chargers play in the Hall of Fame game last week?
Who was it? Chargers. I can't remember. I didn't watch it.
I've got it right here. It was the Lions. Your Lions.
Oh, geez, that's a horrible look.
Yeah, sorry.
God, that's how much I don't pay attention to the Hall of Fame game.
Well, I think you were also calling a CFL game that night in your defense. So it was last Thursday.
Which it was last Thursday? Yeah, I was working then. Yeah. Well, and I was totally rattled in Ottawa last week, so I wouldn't have been paying attention to anything. So, that's my defense. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You know what? I will say that I saw that. I was going to text you going, hey, buddy. And then I looked at the comments. And I'm like, well, listen, I don't think he needs to hear from his idiot lock shop partner when Chris Cuthbert and some of the best play-by-play guys are chiming in. But I don't think many people would have known that. Although I did see earlier in the game of you basically having to have your card like up in your face like this,
buddy,
to try to see the sun.
I think when they originally built that stadium in Ottawa, the broadcast booth, the broadcast booth was on the other side, so the sun would have been like behind you. And, for an evening game, the sun was just coming down, and I had to have, as I'm calling the game, usually I have my board in front of me, and I had to call the game with the board up here to block the sun. And then, I'd watch the game, and then if I needed to look to the board, I'd have to bring it down, the sun. So it was just the first quarter, but it sucked. Yeah,
couldn't have got your one of your makeup people to just sit there and hold something in front of you.
You know what's funny is that when we went on camera to start, there was a guy who was holding like a big black shade to block the backlight, I think, on us. And I thought he was going to stick around for the first quarter. I was like, oh, this guy's great. Like, it's blocking the sun. And then I turned around and he'd gone back and sat down. And I was like, all right, I'll just, I'll find a way.
Get back here.
Yeah. I said, hey, where'd you go? Where's Shade Guy? Get over here. We need you. Anyway, hey, shout out to the DJ and Dan for betting on NFL preseason. I mean, I guess you take dogs in NFL preseason. I don't know, Huss. What do you, I guess you look at the rosters and dive into a little bit. Everybody knows on the Lock Shop, Huss and I love betting the NFL. But I can't bring myself to bet preseason hockey. I can't bring myself to bet preseason football. I can't do it.
I bring myself to do it all the time. I just don't recommend it. and try and be very reasonable with anything we're putting on. It's always neat to see. I mean, I will say this: we never talked to you. You were gone, but one of the more interesting things about last week's Hall of Fame game was the fact that it was Trey Lance. Remember him? Former 3rd overall pick. He's with the Chargers. He actually looked quite good. Threw a couple touchdown passes, went 13 of 20 for 120 yards. The Lions looked terrible. They just kept on putting the ball on the carpet. I think they fumbled the opening kickoff. There was like 3 turnovers in the first little bit. The totals for these games are so low. And maybe it's just because we've been sitting here talking Canadian football.
Yes. There's a 55.5 on the line tonight in the CFL, man.
But I mean, like these numbers, and I've just got the matchups here from ESPN, but I mean, their totals like tonight, 36.5, 37.5, 37.5. Wouldn't be surprised that there's a couple unders in on that. But yeah, I mean, listen, check out the rosters, see who's playing, see who's starting. sometimes, especially earlier on, usually the first couple games, we're really talking about a lot of guys that are probably going to be cut in a couple weeks. Week 3 is usually when we'll see more of the starters play for teams that do decide to play starters. But other than that, that's the one thing. I know they're talking about making the season longer. And I mean, do we need another game? Probably not. But if an extra regular season game came at the expense of 2 preseason games, I think most fans would sign up for that.
Just to get rid of the preseason games. I think if you told them right now, just do 2 less preseason games, everybody would be fine. We don't need a regular season game, but they're obviously going to throw one in there to make the money off of it. So,
yeah. No doubt. Hey, by the way, just like yesterday, how about yesterday for the lock shop and all of us? Like, if you were getting on any of those Blue Jays props that we talked about yesterday,
crushed it.
Like Blue Jays -2.5, Vlad homer, Bo homer, over 3.5 total bases, over 3.5 total bases. I mean, it was everything from like 2.5 to plus 400. I got a Jays Vicky Mboko parlay, which was plus 390. And then live bet Mboko after losing just the first game of the match. I think it was like plus 280. So everything came in. It was one of those nights where you check your account at the end of it, and then you just start diving through NFL futures, because there's nothing better than, winning a couple $100 and then sizing up some of your favorite season-long bets when it kind of feels like you're playing with house money.
It's Nielsen and Huss. It is the Lock Shop, brought to you by Play Alberta. We'll dive, definitely in August here. We'll dive into a ton of NFL futures. There's always so many fun things that you can get on as well. There's a bunch of unders that you can try to hit on some players who are injury prone. That's always fun. And yeah, it was a great day yesterday. The Blue Jays against the Rockies. It's automatic. We had our parlay yesterday that was plus 240 from the morning show, which was just Jays -1.5 and Vladdy with 2 hits. And that thing was an absolute no sweater. First team since 1900, Huss, to hit 63 hits in a 3-game set. You have to go back over a century. We looked it up today along the lines of what was baseball like in 1900, and they had just gone from square home plate to 5-sided home plate, and they had just decided to restrict you to 1 sub in the game as well. So a little bit of a different game than what we were seeing back in the 1900s.
Listen, although the Jays, that record for the Jays should have an asterisk because it was against a AA team.
Yeah.
Like I tweeted this out yesterday. This team is a disgrace to Major League Baseball and should be freaking relegated, not to AAA, but to AA. Because, their entire roster probably costs about half of Shohei Ohtani's contract. And they're just happy. They'll take the revenue sharing money. They'll sell a few tickets and a few hot dogs, make some money, and be the most embarrassing franchise right now in the majors. And man, when you think,
how are you a fan of that? Years, how do their fans deal with that?
Yeah,
it must be killing their fan base.
I'd imagine. I think that sort of happened. There's been a slow drip there after these last few years. But man, like every season, I'm just gonna go back to last year. So last year, the Chicago White Sox won 41 games and lost 121. Historically bad. They had a 253 winning percentage. And what was their run differential? The run differential at the end of the season was -306. You go to the Rockies right now. They have 30 wins on the season. They've got a 263 percentage. So they're slightly ahead of where the Chi Sox were. So they're on a pace to lose about 118 games. But dude, get this. And I think we touched on this yesterday, but the Washington Nationals have the second worst run differential in baseball at -142. After last night's drubbing to the Jays, The Rockies are minus 316. So they right now have a worse run differential than the worst team of all time for a full season last year.
Wow. My God. I think they just minus 39 in the series against the Jays. What was it, 45-6? So
10% of the entire year.
Man, that is awful. Well, now whoever they play next, continue to fade the Rockies. Throw whoever they're playing into the parlay. We'll get to the Jays and Dodgers tomorrow, obviously on the Lock Shop. But what a cool test for Toronto right now to go up against the Dodgers. That should be pretty good.
I just asked ChatGPT what the worst single season run differential in Major League Baseball. It is held by the 1899 Cleveland Spiders, who finished with a differential of minus 723.
How many games did they play back then?
I am not sure. They allowed 1,252 runs while scoring only 29.
Which team was this?
The Cleveland's 1899 Cleveland Spiders. And then in the modern day era, it was a Boston Red Sox team that was minus 345. So the Rockies are poised to be the worst run differential team in 1.25 centuries. If they can be an extra 33 runs worse, which I have a feeling they're going to be because there's like 45 games left in the season.
A little bit on the 1899 Cleveland Spiders. They finished 20-134. Winning percentage of 130. They played 154 games. They won 20 of them. The Spiders' performance was the Spiders' poor performance was due to the team's owners at the time, the Robinson brothers, transferring the team's best players to the other team that they owned, the St. Louis Perfectos, including Cy Young, who was transferred from the Cleveland Spiders, who were owned by these brothers, to the St. Louis Perfectos, who were also owned by the same brothers. So they took their bad team, took all the good players, and moved it over.
You're moving to St. Louis, guys. The rest of you, stick around and get ready for a long season.
They were also one of 4 teams contracted by the National League at the end of that season, effectively ending the franchise. That was the final year of the Cleveland Spiders.
You know, just while we're going down this rabbit hole, how about that for a name for a team? The St. Louis Perfectos.
The Perfectos.
Like, can you see, does it say what the other teams in the league were in 1899? Like what the name
1899.
There'll probably be some
baseball standings. Let's just see. That'll have all the team names. Let's see here. Was this 1899? This is the 1899 season. I think it's going to their current team names if they were a city already around. Let's see here. There was Washington Senators. I need to get a better reference on this. Hang on one sec. Here we go. I'll take a look at Baseball Reference. All right, so there was the Cleveland Spiders finished 12th. The Washington Senators finished 11th. The New York Giants finished 10th. The Louisville Colonels finished 9th. The Chicago Orphans finished 8th.
What? The Chicago Orphans?
They must have not had a city prior or something. But the Chicago Orphans finished 8th. Then you got the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Cincinnati Reds. It just says St. Louis, but we know they were the Perfectos. The Baltimore Orioles, the Philadelphia Phillies, Boston, and then the Brooklyn Super BAS, the Brooklyn Super BAS. Maybe was that were they the Brooklyn Super Baseball team? What is this? I'm assuming the Chicago Orphans weren't around for very long.
Dakota Deep. Rib City Step. I'm with you. Perfectos is a great name. And the Spiders is cool too. There's been a few teams that have been named the Spiders. My first year in the International Hockey League, Dusty, when the Moose started after the Jets moved, there was the San Francisco Spiders. Or maybe they were the year before. Jean Perron, I think, was the coach there. And then he ended up coming to coach the Moose for like half a season before he got whacked. Crazy that a guy with the Stanley Cup ring was floating around the IHL at that time and not able to finish up the a season, but may have been some, yes, Rib City Step. Everyone loves to cheer for an orphan.
The Boston team, their name wasn't on there. I kind of thought they'd be the Red Sox, but it's I just looked at the Brooklyn Superboss, and it was in 1898. They won the National League pennant with a record of 101-47, 8 games ahead of the Boston Bean Eaters.
The Bean Eaters.
The Bean Eaters. So there's that.
Old school names.
There's that out there as well, which is kind of funny. All right. What do you make of this? Let's pop over to CFL here. We put together a little parlay already on the show this morning, moved some things around, but we need to put something else together for this game here too. I did like a 6-point teaser with some player props. So the Lions plus 9.5, Ticats and Lions over 49.5 points. Bo Levi, 2 passing touchdowns or more. Keon Hatcher, 5 receptions or more. That is sitting right now at plus 376. This line has been moving around a little bit because this morning, both the Lions and Ticats and the Elks and Alouettes had moved to 2.5. They're both back at 3 right now. But the BC Lions, 3-point dogs going into Hamilton. The total has been sitting at 55.5 all week. I think we said yesterday, Huss, don't hate the Lions in this spot right now. And I think they played the Ticats. Then the Lions went on a bye, and now they get the Ticats again, right? Is that not? I think that's what it was.
Oh,
so you played a team, then you got the bye. That happened to Winnipeg this year, right? Didn't Winnipeg play?
It happen to Winnipeg.
Got a bye, and then played Calgary again.
And then they played Calgary again, and in between, Calgary went and stomped on Saskatchewan.
For some reason, the CFL
What's
website.
good for the CFL this week is we're getting some good quarterback matchups. Obviously, Davis is out with the Alouettes, but Vernon Adams and Zach Caleros both returning for Winnipeg and Calgary for the matinee, for the late game on Sunday. And then this one tonight. Like, even if you're not a guy that normally watches the Thursday games because you got other stuff going on, this is going to be a fun football game to watch. But yeah, you're right. I mean, wasn't it we were talking about the over couldn't be high enough, and it was like 56 in the Dome, and it ended up being like 70 points. Wasn't it 37-33? Something like that? Yeah,
it was 70 points. And yeah, BC played Hamilton, lost 37-33, then went on a bye, and now gets Hamilton again. Hamilton had to come out to Edmonton and play last week as well. This should be, do we get 60 plus points again in this game, Huss?
I don't know if we'll get 70, but I could see we're going to get 60. What's the weather like in Hamilton?
We look today, like 28 degrees.
Oh, okay. So steamy, hot. I'm hoping I will say this. I know Luke Wilson has picked fights with a lot of people or just gone at people, whatever. The rivalry between Wilson and the entire fan base of the Hamilton Tiger Cats absolutely cracks me up. And I will tell you that if this game does sell out tonight, he's gonna deserve some credit for it, because I can never remember anybody, athlete, media, challenge a group of people more to get up and show up for their team than what's going on right now. I've got a big kick out of it, and hopefully it results in a full house tonight for Hamilton, because I'll tell you what, that team absolutely deserves it. And I realize they probably lost a few people with the way they played the last couple seasons, but man, they've won 6 in a row. Bo Levi Mitchell's slinging it. They got the best receiver in football, and they're looking to go 7-2 tonight. beautiful summer night. Why wouldn't you get out there, Hamilton?
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful night like this. I think you're going to probably have a pretty good time at that game tonight. It's going to be highly entertaining. What do we like for player props here, Huss? Like Bo Levi to throw 2 touchdowns. We already got on one bit, but I mean, Bo Levi over 250 yards. That's a low total, but I think that's something we could definitely work with.
You know what would be a fun prop? Let's see, just what do we have for passing totals for these guys? Yeah, they're both over 300.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Bo at 312, Rourke at 325. So what you add those together, that is 637. What would it be like? I wonder what a prop would be.
Combined 700 passing yards in the game?
Exactly what I was thinking. Over 699.5 passing yards.
I wonder if we could get that. I can ask. Let me just fire a quick message here.
And that would be a hell of a fun prop. I mean, you want to talk about it's always fun to bet the over? Let's bet 700 passing yards in this CFL game tonight. Just see Bo and Rourke absolutely let it rip.
We'll see. We'll see if they can. I mean, that's a big ask. I don't know if we'll be able to pull that one off, but that would be fun. I'd like to get a piece of that. Let's see here. Touchdown scores. Let's see what we could possibly put together. Who do you like best for? I like James Butler for a touchdown tonight, but who do you like best for a touchdown?
Man, with the numbers we're talking about, who do we like for 2 touchdowns?
2 touchdowns. Or maybe we go crazy here and we pick 3 guys to get a touchdown tonight.
The funny thing is that Kenny Lawler did not score in the game against the Lions.
No.
That was the game that Canadian guy, 85, had tons of catches.
Keandre Smith.
Yeah, Keandre Smith. So listen, I would definitely put Kenny Lawler in that group. James Butler, I think is a great pick.
Lawler, Butler, TDs, which we could just do standalone. We get a good number on it, but I think this very lock shop of us to find a 3rd touchdown score. Nobody ever does a 3 touchdown prop in a CFL game, but I'm expecting there to be 6 to 7 touchdowns in this football game tonight.
Nathan Rourke is going to throw a few. Who's catching one? Is it Hatcher, McInnes?
He's been so much heavier on the targets to Hatcher this year than McInnes. I think it will probably be Hatcher, but also
the Hatcher number is a little lower than McInnes.
I'm looking here at, let's see, because I'm thinking Keon Hatcher, he only has 2 touchdowns this year, but he's been targeted 64 times, but just 2 touchdowns so far. McInnes hasn't been lighting it up in the end zone either, but I could see one of those guys.
Like, are those 2 the most likely receivers for Rourke for a touchdown?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Barry Hill leads the team in receiving touchdowns, but I mean, I think I'd probably lean either McInnes or Hatcher.
Is Dolegala he's the backup for BC or Hamilton?
He's the backup for Hamilton. He's like a short yardage guy there.
Okay. Well, that makes sense because he's got the shortest number. But then there's Nathan Rourke.
Yeah.
I mean, Rourke finds his way in quite a bit. I do like a passing TD, though. I mean, I would be fine with either Hatcher or McInnes, along with Kenny Lawler and James Butler.
It's super chalky, but it's 3 guys, right? Like it's.
Oh, exactly. Let's see who the chat likes. Who do we like better, folks? Keon Hatcher, touchdown, or Justin McInnes?
Justin McInnes.
Tonight? BC receivers. Let us know in the chat, and we can put that. Oh, the Grand Est from the Duck Dad.
It's up at 33-1.
3-1. What is it up?
Yeah, it must be up. Here we go. I'll give it to you.
And
it's Skeens over 6.5 strikeouts.
Yes.
Edwards over 1.5 total bases. Josh Naylor with a stolen base, and Raleigh with the ribby. Is that exactly what I sent over there? Let me just see. I just want to double check and make sure this is. That's a big number. Maybe it's meant to be. Ribby's bases over one. Yeah, so that's it. That's it. 33-1. Well, I mean, on principle alone, I'm gonna ride with the grandest on this one.
The bird draft parlay plus 608 apparently.
Yeah, that's up. That's the Eagles plus 6.5, the Memphis Redbirds in AAA, and the Adelaide Crows on Sunday at plus 608. Okay, I'm going to send this over. Let's do that. Let's go. Would you rather, instead of Hatcher, should we play it a little bit safer and just say Nathan Rourke, like 2 touchdown passes? Or do we just say, this is what we're building? It's a touchdown parlay. Let's go get it.
I wonder do you have a number on that?
Let me see. So the Hatcher touchdown is 425. So let me just make a note on that. And then, at least I think that's what we'll be able to get it at. And then let's see, TD passers. I got passing yards. TD scores. Can't see the TD passing props right now. Now let's just stick with the touchdowns. Like I said, I think there's going to be 5, 6, 7 touchdowns tonight. So let's get.
Well, Hatcher only has 2. He's due.
Yeah, and he's heavily. I mean, he's been targeted at least 5 times. For quite a while now. So yeah, let's do that. All right, I'll send that over to the boys here, and we'll get it up.
Butler, Hatcher.
So Lawler, TD, Hatcher, TD, Butler, TD. See, that's going to be a big number. That's going to be a pretty big number. Terry M says Rourke 2 TD passes guaranteed. Yeah, but I think last time these 2 teams played, he didn't have a touchdown pass. So I mean, maybe you look on the, sort it out. And did he not have a touchdown pass, or was that last week? Let me see. I want to take a peek at this. I thought Eric said this morning, last time they played, he did not have a touchdown pass. Yeah, so last time they played, Rourke was 289 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Mazzoli had a rushing touchdown, and James Butler had 2 rushing touchdowns and actually touched the ball 16 times for 115 yards on the ground in that one. So, I mean, I could see Rourke coming off a bye. Another week, they just played the Ticats 2 weeks ago. He's got a whole week to study them. I don't hate that. You would play that as a standalone if you want. Rourke over the... over 1.5. Huss, what about the line movement? It was up to 2.5 in this Elks game. It had moved to 2.5. It was started at 4. It's sitting at 3 now. I think it was at 3 yesterday. It was inside 2.5 briefly this morning.
I'm seeing 2.5 right now.
All right, so
that's the one that's changed. The one that's moved so far, because yesterday was 3, 3, 3, and 5. Yeah. And now we got 3, 3. Are the Argos still 3.5 or 3?
They are 3.5.
3.5. See, I like the Argos in this game. I think that's probably my favorite bet of the week. Although I do like Winnipeg too. Although I try not to put too much into the Bombers because I know that I'm biased. But you know what I mean? Like, what about money lines? Elks and Bombers and Argos? What does that come up to?
Elks, Bombers, Argos. I'm looking at plus 871. And that would be before a little boost if we put together a little money liner. We can wait and do something tomorrow on that if we wanted, right? We're here tomorrow, so we can.
Yep.
Let's see where these things go. The Montreal depth chart came out today, and they are banged up, man. Obviously no Davis Alexander, but Mac's not back. Philpott's not back. Dequoi's not playing. KB and Ento's not playing again. Ento and Dequoy are their top two players in the secondary, I would think. Deontay Ruffin, who's a guy that would usually play in the spots of those guys, he's also not able to go. So they've got a pretty inexperienced secondary. We'll see if Cody Fajardo can take advantage of that. The Elks injury report is basically Metier, and that's it. So you've got one team that's pretty much fully healthy right now, which is absurd at this time of year, going up against another team that doesn't look great.
I mean, I still think Montreal and Davis Alexander's back and healthy is probably still the best team in the East. Like, with all due respect to Hamilton and where they are right now, that could change, I guess. But man, they're beat up, and especially their offense. I mean, all the guys that are really the drivers of that offense don't seem to be there. Now, they do have the benefit of playing the Elks defense, which has had a tough time stopping anyone. But to me, if Cody Fajardo can come out and have a good game, and I think he'll be very, very motivated to actually, it is wild. It's Fajardo versus Macbeth.
Yeah,
I didn't even think
I know, buddy.
Those are the guys that got traded for each other this offseason.
Tremendous storyline.
Double revenge game?
Double revenge game. And how about this if we're trying to stretch revenge games storylines? The Alouettes will be playing Alexander Hollins at receiver, who was in Edmonton to start the year at camp and was released, and now is playing for the Montreal Alouettes. So, and he's looking for an opportunity because they've been, when their receiving core is healthy, Hollins hasn't been able to go, but he was targeted twice last week, drew PIs both times, and then that was it. But that would be the most Elks thing. There's been a lot of Elks things that have happened over the last few years, but the most Elks thing would be a team that, the receiving core hasn't been great so far. A guy that they cut comes back and torches him for like 100 yards or something.
Yeah, while being thrown to by MBT.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be quite something.
Speaking of former Elks, I'm sure you've been following the drama here in Winnipeg about Dylan Mitchell.
Yeah, what's going on with this guy?
Well, I don't know what the hell he did. He came in out of shape. He obviously pissed off O'Shea somehow. No, they're like all last week, they were being grilled by the media. Like, okay, now you're going with a 5th round Canadian draft pick over a guy you flew in and gave a big signing bonus when there's a spot in the lineup. And they said, well, you know what? He's not comfortable at the slot position. Corcoran is. And then Corcoran's never played the slot. And then they were asked, well, wait a second. Dylan Mitchell's played the slot 16 times in the CFL. Probably a little bit more usually on the wideout, but he has played there before. And they just gave us a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo. The offense doesn't look particularly good, although they got the win on Friday. Guess who's running in the slot this week at Blue Bomber practice? Dylan Mitchell.
Oh, boy.
I think we could see the season debut, which is insane. We're like halfway through the year. He could finally be getting his first chance to play for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers this year. And that might make for a couple of interesting props. Like, I think Zach is going to do his best to get this guy in the football game. So as we get closer to the game, I'm sure we'll start having some numbers on some of the Bomber receivers. And don't be surprised if Dylan Mitchell, particularly early in the football game, gets a few. And if it goes well, he could end up being a guy that Zach kind of looks at, even though he hasn't been a part of anything so far up until this point this season.
Man, he had a ton of potential when he was here. He was the guy. Yeah, he came out. He's like, I'm going to go for 2,000 yards. And
yeah, like, was he just a bit of a knucklehead, or like?
Well, yeah, I mean, he burst onto the scene as a rookie late in the season, and I think he put up like a 1,400 yard pace after that. And then the next year at camp, and it's one of those things where you say it, I don't necessarily know you 100% believe it, but it's the beginning of the year, trying to help yourself out. And he's like, I'm going to try to take a run at 2,000 yards. And then he had a super slow start, and that comes back around, and it's like, oh, where's Dylan Mitchell on his 2,000 yards? Like, what's going on here? So it was, yeah. Yeah, not good. It'd be interesting to see how he fits in. How do you think Zach's going to look, buddy? What have you thought of Kolaris so far this year?
Mid.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one great game against the Elks, but everyone has a great game against the Elks. I mean, the picks against Calgary were really concerning. The guy's an incredible leader. He makes plays. He's very, very smart. But I don't know. I have been concerned that maybe there's been a little bit of zip on the arm that is gone. And throws that he feels that he can make and has made in the past aren't quite getting there when they're supposed to get there. And the worst thing you can do that is throw that thing out to the wide side of the field and give a guy time to jump on it. That's happened. So I'm not sure whether he'll manage himself differently or whether that was maybe just an observation from an off game or two. But let's just say that if the Bombers are going to get back into it, Zach is going to have to be better. And most importantly, take care of the football. I mean, you look at they talk a lot about just their lack of execution over that course of that losing streak. And the biggest part of it, I mean, they had 17 turnovers. Now that includes, unsuccessful third down gambles, and they've been down quite a bit. So that's a few, but between Kolaris and Strevler, they have not done a good job of taking care of the football. And then listen, the coaches are part of it too. I mean, Jason Hogan sort of threw the bus over Strevler after Friday's game. I mean, like the collective groan in the building when Strevler threw that pick on the last play before the 3-minute warning, up 6 in field goal range on first down, everyone was talking about it. And all of a sudden you just give the Argos the ball back with tons of time, down 6. Thank God Willie Jefferson was Willie Jefferson on Friday, because the defense really stepped up a couple times in that last 3 minutes. But there's been some weird decisions, I think, by the coaching staff, the offensive coordinators, or maybe it's on the quarterbacks. But the bottom line is, collectively, it has been a drop off from what we're used to from Zach Collaros since he's been a Winnipeg Blue Bomber. So, but don't think these guys. I mean, Hamilton said it well when we were doing the CFL 110 yesterday, which, by the way, is up at Winnipeg Sports Talk if you want to check that out. This one is going to feel, I think, kind of personal for the Bombers, in that they got absolutely pounded. I mean, they lost 2 games by a total of 41 points, and you could make an argument that both of the games were somewhat flattering to Winnipeg, the scores. Like, there was a late touchdown that made it 21 instead of 28 in one of the games. I mean, they know that they have to be better. I think they got away with one against Toronto, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see one of the best performances of the Bombers this year on Saturday night in Calgary. And I think they're going to need it if they want to get a win.
What is coming up on Winnipeg Sports Talk today, buddy?
Well, a really fun conversation with Sarah Orlesky. Ed Tate's going to join us, and we'll get the latest on Dylan Mitchell and the Bombers' preparation for the upcoming week in Calgary. Let's see. Andrew Collier is going to come by from the Winnipeg Goldeyes. And our old pal Jake's going to pop on. We're going to talk a little NFL futures as well. So we'll chop all that up in about 8 minutes over on the WST channel, and then sit back and hope for an absolute fireworks show tonight at the Donut Box.
I think we'll get it. I'm very much looking forward to that. Us, we'll catch up with you tomorrow. We'll do the rest of the week in the CFL tomorrow.
Oh, Dusty on Friday.
Yeah, yes. Dusty Friday show, buddy. I'm going to be here. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I will be here too. I will look forward to seeing you then. Nasties, have a great one. And I know some of you will pop by. We'll look forward to seeing you maybe later on over on WST as well.
There you go. That is Huss from Winnipeg Sports Talk, and his show gets going in about 7 minutes. We threw a bunch up today here on the EST Specials page, so let me give you a quick recap of that before we wrap up. Then we got 2 guys and a goalie on the way as well. Glue Guys play of the day from yesterday on the EST Specials page is still up. The Elks to win right now is plus 111. Glue Guy got it yesterday at plus 160. If you're going to bet the Elks, you do it there at plus 160. We got the early bird bet from this morning for this game tonight. BC Lions plus 9.5. Ticats Lions over 49.5 points. Bo Levi, 2+ passing touchdowns. Keon Hatcher, 5+ receptions. It's boosted to plus 376. The grandest of parlays is up. Paul Skeens, 7+ strikeouts. Edwards, 2+ total bases. Naylor with a stolen base. And RBI for the big dumper. And then the bird draft parlay is up. Philadelphia Eagles plus 6.5 NFL preseason tonight. Memphis Redbirds AAA ball to win on the money line. Adelaide Crows, it's a Sunday play, minus 51.5. And then our CFL partner parlay that we just threw up. Anytime touchdown scores tonight. Kenny Lawler, Keon Hatcher, and James Butler. Need all three, but it's going to be a high-scoring game. It's at plus 522 if you want to ride with us on that one as well. Lawler, Hatcher, Butler, all with touchdowns tonight, plus 522. It's on the EST Specials tab. If you are on your computer, playalberta.ca, you'll see quick links on the left side. There's odds boost, there's the daily specials, and then you'll see the EST specials right above MLB and CFL. Use the code EST Sports, deposit 20, get a $50 free bet when you do that. Also, you can hit the casino, deposit 20, get $50 casino credit with EST Casino. A few odds boosts on the CFL. What's this one? BC Lions to win the first half. Ticats to win the game in regulation, plus 760. Highest scoring quarter tonight, fourth quarter, plus 228. And then they've already got some up for the, what's this one? 51+ total points scored and the Elks to win. That's a 3-1 too. So you can find those on the odds boost page over at Play Alberta as well. We got two guys and a goalie coming up. That is presented by GS Construction. We're going to be talking true Stanley Cup contenders today. Which teams would you look at and go, okay, yeah, no, legitimate Stanley Cup contender? How many of those are there this season? Are the Oilers one of them? Interesting. We'll get to that on two guys and a goalie coming up here on Edmonton Sports Talk. If you're watching over on YouTube, make sure autoplay is on. That'll take you right on over to two guys and then into EST Afternoons with Nanso. And then the Reed Wilkins Show today from 3 until 6. Thank you very much for joining us on the Lock Shop today. Best of luck if you're riding with us tonight. We'll be back on the Jays, obviously, tomorrow. Best of luck tonight. Take it easy.